building the model and inserting input variables with at risk. Now, we start building the annual P&L forecast. 11. Place your cursor on cell B13. We will insert a Poisson distribution here to model the number of contracts for a winter month. Click on the Define Distribution icon. The following palette window appears. Select the Poisson distribution placed on the Command tab. The following window appears. To count the frequency or number of contracts per month, we will use a Poisson distribution. A Poisson distribution always returns only integer values, with a mean and variance equal to its only parameter, lambda. It is usually used to describe, for example, number of individual events that occur in an interval of time when the events are occurring at a constant rate, the number of customers arriving in a queue, the number of accidents on a road, or the number of imperfections per meter of an item being manufactured, the number of items in a batch of random size, the number of items needed from an inventory, the number of periods, months, or days a device is out of service, or the number of claims in an insurance policy. In this case, we are using it to stochastically count the number of monthly contracts for winter and non-winter months. Observe on the left-hand side of this distribution window that a Poisson distribution only requires one parameter, lambda, which stands for the mean and the variance of the process to be quantified. 13. Click on the Assign Excel References as Arguments button and direct your cursor to cell B2 when the following small window appears. 14. Then click on the upper right-hand side icon of the small reference window to return to your distribution window, which should now look like this. This distribution describes how eventual random numbers will be generated during a simulation. By observing the values on top of the two vertical lines or delimiters, you should be able to already consider probabilities. There only exists 1.8% probability that there will be 0 contracts per month, given that lambda, the average number of contracts per month, is 4. On the other hand, there will only exist a 2.1% probability that there will be 9 or more contracts per month, given that lambda, the average number of contracts per month, is 4. You can drag both of these delimiters to different values along the x-axis. Observe how the probability values on the bar on top move along, changing its corresponding points and their cumulative probabilities. 15. Click on the OK button in order to close your window and return to Excel. The function on cell B13 should now look like this. Equal risk Poisson B3. 16. Edit with F2 this cell and immediately click on F4 in order to make fixed references to cell B3. Therefore, cell B13 should now contain the modify reference as follows: equals risk Poisson $B $3. This cell could also be modified by referencing to cell B3 with your cursor, which would work exactly the same. Equals risk Poisson, open parenthesis, contracts winter, close parenthesis. 17. Copy cell B13 and paste it to the corresponding winter months, February and December, respectively, on cells C13 and M13. These cells will now make a fixed reference to B3, where the average number of monthly contracts has been established on 4. 18. For non-winter months starting on March D13, do the following. Copy cell C13 onto D13, and on top of this D13 for March, change the reference parameter from B3 to B2, or from contracts winter to contracts non-winter. Make sure the absolute reference to fixed parameters is kept on this formula using the $signs referred to $B $2. 19. Copy cell D13 and paste it to the remaining of the non-winter months, all the way up to cell L13, November. Each one of the cells for the March through November range should now have the following function. Equals risk Poisson, open parenthesis, contracts non-winter, close parenthesis. 20. Make sure that your dice icon on your at-risks ribbon has been turned on. The random/static standard F9 recalc button. Click F9 to recalculate several times your randomly generated Poissons and observe how values on row 13 now change every single time you recalculate. This is proof of the random number generator engine that at-risk possesses that is generating random numbers when Excel recalculations occur.